We give you the facts, it's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
What am I think? What am I think? You're listening to Popeye News Links. This is the Admiral Tibet who I represent, and remember, the time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. This is Popeye News Links.
People of Center, St. Mary and surrounding.
Yeah, watch Popeyes, mama.
Here is
Where I watch?
Popeye.
are you on exactly? If you are,
Greetings viewers and subscribers. First up, on Saturday I dropped a video. There is the thumbnail on your screen. I reported that on Friday, 2 guys were shot and killed by a policeman early Friday morning, July 25 at minutes to 3 o'clock. This incident took place at Mount Carey in the parish of St. James. I reported that the policeman and his wife, they were about to come out of the car when they were approached by 2 guys. One of them pulled a gun and opened gunfire at the policeman, who returned the fire, killing both guys. The policeman, he received a wound to one of his fingers. The 2 guys were Oraine Henry and Christopher English. One of the guys' father had sent me a voice note disputing what I had reported. I also had a conversation with the father and another family member. If you missed that conversation, I implore you to go back and watch that video. There is the thumbnail on your screen. Now, the father is now apologizing. I'm gonna replay the voice note that the father had sent me early Saturday morning, prompting me to call him, and then I'm gonna be playing his apology. Listen this.
Mr. Popeye, good morning. I'm calling to pertaining to the killing that went on in Yarkbush. Right? You send out the news, but you have to be careful in news that you send out. There was no police live down in Yarkbush. More than one live way down in the bush. And where they killed the 2 youths yesterday, there was the policeman live nowhere there, sir. And if a police they kill the youth, them, why is it that they never move the body until 4:30 and it happened sometime after 1? And I'm telling you because I live there. And the news that you bring out, you will be careful of the news where you build up, because a pure foolish is a lie. Them tell you to put on it. And then the police kill the youth. The police come in and then now, police, them engaged by 2 gunmen, and then the youth never have no gun in their hand. I lie them and tell for the youth. I mean, need to give me a call back. Because of false news you bring. And you have to be sure of the news that you bring. You have to be careful of the news where you bring. Because the youth know when they're in the ranks, we don't know. But it was not a police that shoot the young man. Half-duty police that go home with his spouse. And no police don't live nowhere when they kill a boy. The boy them. It is all misled news. You need to give me a call, sir. You need to give me a call. Pleasant afternoon to you. Because I left a message a while ago and it cut off short. But I just want to make it short. I apologize for the call the other day. Because so many people hear my voice on there. And I don't want to make it look as if I am dark and illiterate. Sometimes we have some children and we don't know what they're doing, and they put our lives in jeopardy. They are doing things out there and they leave their parents and loved one behind to suffer. So I just want to say to you, sorry for the message that I have sent to you. If it sounded as if we are dark, we just didn't know what was the cause of it. You understand me? Because I live in Mango Walk, not Montego Hills. Or somebody said I live in Montego Hills. I live in Mango Walk. And he came there. He don't live with me. He's from the area that they killed him. He don't live here. He came here in Mango Walk and visit us times upon times. And whatever happened, it has to happen, and it happened that way. And whatever he reaped, he sowed. You understand me? So I want to say I'm sorry for what what happened and what we said. Sincerely apologize, sir. You have a good day, and God bless you.
So, you heard that? Daddy, your apology is accepted, sir. Enough respect. And based on what I heard about your son, I am happy that you did not try to defend him. Alright? Enough respect, Daddy. In the news today, on Sunday afternoon, July 27, about 3 o'clock, a team of JDF soldiers, they were on duty at the Zozo checkpoint at Clayton Lane in the Mount Salem area of St. James when a 24-year-old guy named Safarie Jones, he walked up to the soldiers. Safarie is from Garden Pen in the Spanish Town area of St. Catherine. We are told that Safarie, he walked up to the soldiers at the checkpoint and he handed over to them one Benelli shotgun and 19 12-gauge rounds. Safarie, he told the soldiers that he had broken into the home of a businessman at Westgate Hills in St. James. He told them that he had stolen the gun and the ammunition from the businessman's safe, and he told them that he had planned on using the same gun to kill the businessman, but he had a change of heart. Are you following me? The police, they were called in, and Safarie and the gun and ammunitions were handed over to them. Safarie told the police the same thing that he had told the soldiers. The businessman who was out of town, he was contacted by the police. Checks were made at the businessman's house, and it was found out that the house was indeed broken into and the shotgun and ammunitions stolen from the safe, which was pried open. More details soon, but boy, may I tell you. In this next report, the Neville police, they have arrested and charged Odane Brown. Odane is a 33-year-old bike taxi operator living at Tankill in the Neville area of Westmoreland. Odane, he has been charged for the offenses of robbery with aggravation and using a firearm to commit a felony. The allegation is that on the early morning of Monday, July 14, about 2 o'clock, a 20-year-old guy, he was walking past the Neville fishing village after he had attended a party and was heading home when he was pounced on by Odane, who brandished a gun and jerked him down. Odane, he proceeded to rob the guy of his black Samsung Galaxy A14 cell phone and 50,000 Jamaican dollars in cash. He then made good his escape. A report was made to the police, who commenced investigations. We are told that last week, the police in St. James, they carried out a raid, and Odane, he was held in the parish. He was taken back to Neville where he was charged. So he'll be facing the courts shortly. In this next report, now follow me. You might have seen other reports elsewhere, but over here so, we deal with facts. Listen this now. That guy on your screen, his name is John Clayton, but he's also known to many persons as John Paul or Lanzie. Lanzie is in his mid-30s and he's from 3 Miles River in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, there is currently a bench warrant out for Lanzie's arrest, and this is why. About 5 years ago, Lanzie, he used to work for that guy on your screen. His name is Glenroy McNaughton. Glenroy, he used to run a cook shop in the Georges Plain area of Westmoreland, and like I said, Lanzie, he used to work for him. And just in case you are asking why I'm posting Glenroy's photo, he was shot and killed by Hoodlums some time ago. But Lanzie, he used to work for Glenroy. One day, Glenroy told Lanzie to go and buy something, and Lanzie refused. As a result, there was a fight with Lanzie and Glenroy. As a result of this fight, Lanzie, he stopped working at the cook shop. The very next day, Lanzie, he used another phone and he called the cook shop and ordered food to be delivered. Glenroy, he went to deliver the food, not knowing that it was Lanzie who had called and was waiting in ambush. By the time Glenroy found out, it was too late. Lanzie, he used a fish gun to shoot Glenroy and chopped him on one of his feet, almost taking it off. Lanzie, he was eventually arrested and charged by the police. He was placed before the court where he was granted bail. Lanzie, he never ever returned to court after that. As a result, a bench warrant was issued for his arrest. Since then, Lanzie, he has been between Negril and 3 Miles River. We are told that Lanzie, he was living at Whyte in Negril. Our information is that Lanzie, who is known in Negril as John Paul, he was involved in an intimate relationship with a 13-year-old girl. That girl was born on August 9, 2011, and she's attending a high school in Westmoreland. Yesterday morning, Monday, July 28, almost 12 midday, John Paul, he arrived at his home at Whyte in Negril with the girl on his bike back. Are you following me? Both John Paul and the female, they entered John Paul's 1-bedroom board house. While they were inside the house, an argument developed between both of them and they started to fight. John Paul, he then used a machete to inflict several chop wounds all over the 13-year-old female's body. When I say serious chop wounds, I talk about some serious chop wounds. John Paul, he then fled the area on foot. The police, they were called and they rushed with the 13-year-old female to hospital where she was treated and admitted in a very serious condition. Many persons in the Whyte area, they thought that she died, but when I made checks early this morning, she was still here with us. If anything changes, I'll be updating this report. The mayhem. In this next report, the police in St. James, they are awaiting the result of a postmortem to ascertain how a 33-year-old concierge died. Her name is Chantel Whyte. She was living in the Pele Drive area of Flankers in the parish of St. James. Reports are that Chantel, she was last seen alive at her home on Saturday afternoon, July 26, about 4 o'clock. Chantel, she was not seen or heard from all day Sunday or yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, Monday, July 28, about 5 o'clock, a family friend became concerned after making several calls to Chantel's phone, which went unanswered. As a result, the family friend, she went to Chantel's home and made checks. On her arrival, the house was locked up, but a window to Chantel's room was left open and the fan inside the room was running. Assistance was sought and the house was entered. Chantel's naked and decomposed body was seen kneeling on the floor holding onto the bedside table. The police, they were called and they processed the scene. Like I said, the police, they are awaiting the result of a postmortem examination to ascertain the cause of Chantel's death. Sad indeed. This one, it took place Sunday evening, July 27, about 6 o'clock. It took place at the upper side of Norman Malley Boulevard over on the Green Island police area side of Hanover. Now, this is what we are learning. A man in his early 50s. He is from Sheffield in England. He was driving a 2024 Toyota RAV4 and he and his wife and another family member were in the RAV4. They were traveling from Negril towards Green Island direction. A grey Toyota premium motor car was traveling in the opposite direction and it was being driven by a 42-year-old taxi driver from a Kingston address. In the car with him were 4 passengers to include an 18-year-old female student named Latanya Chisholm. She was living at Spanish Town in St. Catherine. We are learning that the driver for the 2011 Toyota premium motor car that was heading towards Negril, somehow he ended up losing control of the car. As a result, the car, it spun and it collided into the Toyota RAV4. Latanya Chisholm, she received serious head and shoulder injuries and she was pinned inside the Toyota Premio. Latanya, she died on the spot. The drivers and passengers in both vehicles, they received injuries and they were rushed to hospital where they were admitted in serious and stable conditions. Sad indeed. There was another fatal accident less than 3 hours later in the same Green Island police area. This one, it took place at minutes to 9 o'clock. Sunday, July 27. It took place along the Lances Bay main road in the parish of Hanover. Our information is that an 18-year-old guy, he was riding a black 2024 Cobra CG 150 motorcycle. On the back was another youngster named Tyler Robert. Tyler was 17 years old and he was living at Mosquito Cove in the Sandy Bay police area of Hanover. They were traveling from Green Island towards Lucy direction. A white 2016 Toyota Mark X motorcar was traveling in the opposite direction and it was being driven by a 22-year-old guy from Lances Bay in Hanover. On reaching in the vicinity of Campbell's Hill along the Lances Bay main road, the Toyota Mark X, it collided into the Cobra motorcycle. The rider and Tyler, they fell off the bike onto the asphalted roadway. The driver for the Mark X, he then swerved to the right side of the road and collided into a silver Toyota Axio motor car that was coming in the opposite direction. And this Toyota Axio, it was being driven by a 43-year-old policeman. Both the Toyota Axio and the Mark X, they then hit into the embankment to the left side of the Axio. 17-year-old Tyler, he received serious head injuries and he died as a result. The bike rider, he received injuries to his head and both legs and he was rushed to hospital in an unconscious state. Both the driver for the Mark X and the Toyota Axio, they were also injured and taken to hospital. Sad indeed. Over in Trelawney, the police, they are searching for a guy popularly known as Omar in connection with the death of his brother. The brother's name is Delroy Williams, but he was also known as Tony or Duppy. He was a 55-year-old farmer living at Sweat Hill in the wire fence area of Trelawney. Now, what we're learning is that Omar, he had accused his brother Duppy of thieving out some yam out of his yam ground. This caused an argument between both brothers. On Sunday, July 27, Duppy, he left to Kingston where he had sold some yam. He returned to his community last night, Monday, July 28. At almost 7:30, Duppy, he was walking home when he was attacked by a hoodlum who used a knife to inflict several stab wounds to his chest and his abdomen. The hoodlum, he then made good his escape. Duppy, he managed to run off and he was heard crying for help before he collapsed and fell along the pathway to his house. Residents, they went and they saw Duppy's lifeless body lying face down in a pool of blood. Duppy, he died on the spot. The police, they were called and they processed the scene. We are told that the police, they found evidence on the scene that is linking Omar to the crime. As a result, the police, they carried out a raid at Omar's home, but he was not found. Omar, you are wanted by the police. The mayhem. In this next report, we are doing some digging and we are going to be updating this report in a subsequent video. A 26-year-old guy named Renarko Campbell. He was a construction worker living at Royal Palm in the Runaway Bay area of St. Ann. He was shot and killed by hoodlums in the Mount Edgecombe area of St. Ann shortly before 12 midnight last night. Like I said, more to come. This one, it took place Sunday night, July 27 at minutes to 11 o'clock. It took place at Chad's Real Vibes Bar at Exchange Square in the Ocherous police area of St. Anne. Reports are that a guy, his name is Deandreu, but he was popularly known as Bigga. Bigga was 21 years old and he was living at Cornpiece Street in the Exchange area of St. Anne. We are told that Bigga, he was in the bar drinking when a hoodlum entered with a gun in his hand. He walked over to Bigga, put the gun to Bigga's head and squeezed. Bigga, he fell to the ground and that was it for him. Bigga, he died on the spot. The hoodlum, he then ran out of the bar making good his escape. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button as also. Hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you will be one of the first to be notified. In the final report for today, this one took place this morning, Tuesday, July 29, about 10:30. It took place at Brighton in the Little London police area of Westmoreland. Our information is that guy on your screen, his name is Neville Daley, but he was popularly known as Okan. Okan was a 37-year-old bike taxi operator living at Brighton in Westmoreland. We are learning that Okan, he was sitting on the bike in a relative's yard when a hoodlum opened gunfire at him, hitting Okan to his head and his upper body. The hoodlum, he then made good his escape in the area. Okan, he fell off the bike and that was it for him. He died on the spot. More to come. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and KlLL TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them no out can't take, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane, everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when me turn. Country and town, man a play blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them no gonna further. Man a dead like cancer and bird, yeah. Who no listen them a word, yeah. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica.